You cleaned your house this morning, mopped the floors, scrubbed the bathroom, maybe lit a candle after. And right now, your dog is walking through a chemical minefield you didn't realize you created. A 2025 Duke University study found roughly 40 harmful chemicals inside over half of the dogs tested. Not dogs that got into the cleaning cabinet, just dogs living normal lives, in normal homes, like yours. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which products are doing the damage and the specific steps to stop it starting today. Here's the thing most dog owners believe. The risk from cleaning products is obvious. Your dog drinks bleach or chews through a bottle of drain cleaner, and then you know you have a problem. But that's not how most dogs are actually being harmed. The real threat is invisible. It's slow. It's happening every single day in homes that look perfectly clean. And that's exactly what makes it so dangerous. We need to talk about chronic exposure. Dogs face a completely different chemical reality than we do. 3 biological facts explain why. First, they spend their entire lives at floor level. That's where chemical residues settle and concentrate the longest. A floor that smells fresh to you is still loaded with active chemical residue at exactly the height your dog's nose and mouth spend every waking hour. They literally live inside the most contaminated zone in your home. Most cleaning product warnings never mention this at all. Second biological fact, paw licking. Dogs lick their paws routinely and thoroughly. Every time your dog walks across a floor you cleaned with a phenol-based disinfectant or a residue-leaving carpet spray, they're essentially ingesting trace amounts of that product on their next grooming session. Over days, weeks, and months, that creates what researchers call cumulative toxin loading. It's not one big exposure, it's hundreds of small ones, adding up silently inside your dog's body without a single obvious warning sign. If you want to keep getting this kind of science-backed information for your dog, subscribing to Griffin's Pack is the simplest thing you can do right now. Third biological fact, their nose. Dogs have up to 300 million scent receptors. Humans have about 6 million. That extraordinary sensitivity means chemical fumes that are barely detectable to you are overwhelming to your dog at a physiological level. When you spray a disinfectant or use a scented carpet powder, your dog is drawing those chemical-laden air molecules deep into their nasal passages at an intensity we genuinely can't replicate. Their olfactory system is their greatest gift. Right now, it's also their greatest vulnerability. Now let's talk about which specific products are doing the most damage. And I'm not giving you vague categories here. I'm naming the chemistry you need to recognize on a label. First up, phenol-based disinfectants. This includes many pine-scented cleaners and Lysol-style sprays. Phenols are directly toxic to your dog's liver cells. They can cause chemical burns to mucous membranes on contact, and diluted concentrations on a floor still pose real risk every time your dog grooms. These are some of the most serious threats in your home right now. Bleach-based cleaners, sodium hypochlorite, are next. The vapor alone from concentrated bleach can cause respiratory distress in dogs, especially in enclosed spaces like bathrooms. Ammonia-based cleaners produce similarly caustic fumes and can burn your dog's mouth, throat, and stomach if ingested. Toilet bowl cleaners combine corrosive acids or bleach with detergents in a small space where, yes, curious dogs absolutely do drink. And if you think your dog would never do that, think again. Toilet drinking in dogs is far more common than most owners want to admit. Drain cleaners and oven cleaners sit at the extreme end of the danger scale. Many contain sodium hydroxide, lye, which causes immediate and severe chemical burns to any tissue it contacts. We're talking seconds, not minutes. These are the fastest-acting household toxins your dog could encounter. And carpet and upholstery cleaners deserve special attention too. They leave residue on the exact surfaces your dog lies on and licks. Many contain glycol ethers and solvents that cause nerve and liver damage over time. The residue problem is real, and it's constant. Dryer sheets. Don't overlook dryer sheets. They contain cationic surfactants at high enough concentrations that even a partially chewed sheet can cause ulcers in your dog's mouth and throat. And dogs chew dryer sheets more often than you'd think. They smell interesting. They're accessible. They're soft. The laundry area is one of the most underestimated hazard zones in any home. Liquid fabric softener carries the same risk, and detergent pods are small, colorful, and visually attractive to dogs. A single pod can cause serious neurological and GI damage in a medium-sized dog. Now here's where it gets really important, and where most dog owners get blindsided. You switch to green cleaners, natural cleaners, plant-based cleaners. You thought you fixed the problem. But the chemistry tells a more complicated story. Many eco-friendly products contain glycol ethers, solvents that cause liver damage, nerve damage, and reproductive harm with sustained exposure. They don't always appear under a recognizable name. You might see 2-butoxyethanol buried in the ingredient list. That's a glycol ether, and it's in a lot of products marketed as safe for families and pets. And then there's the word fragrance. In the US, fragrance is legally considered a trade secret. That means manufacturers don't have to tell you every compound in a fragrance mixture. What hides inside fragrance? Often phthalates, endocrine-disrupting chemicals linked to cancer in animals. They act as hormone disruptors, and they're present in scented cleaners, even ones marketed as natural. You look at a product, you see the word fragrance, and you assume that's just the scent. It's not. It's a legal loophole that lets companies keep dangerous chemistry completely invisible to you. Tea tree oil. It's in a lot of eco-friendly cleaners. It's plant-derived. It sounds harmless, but tea tree oil is directly toxic to dogs, full stop. It can cause weakness, tremors, and liver damage even in small amounts. And citrus-based cleaners, another popular natural ingredient, can cause GI upset and skin irritation. Plant-derived doesn't mean dog safe. Those two things are completely separate. The fact that something comes from nature doesn't mean your dog's biology is built to handle it. That framing has genuinely cost dogs their health. Has your dog ever reacted strangely after you cleaned your home? Restless, licking their paws more than usual, or just off? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one, and I'd love to know what you noticed. Now, let's talk about the research that reframes this entire conversation. A February 2025 Duke University study found roughly 40 different chemicals in at least half of more than 100 dogs studied. Flame retardants, phthalates, a chemical burden that most owners would never suspect. And here's what makes this so significant. These weren't dogs that got into cleaning supply cabinets. These were dogs living ordinary lives in ordinary homes. The exposure pathway was the floor, the air, the textiles, the cleaned surfaces they contact every single day. The study also found that dogs in warmer climates carried a higher chemical load. The reason is heat. Warmer temperatures cause household surfaces and textiles to off-gas volatile organic compounds more rapidly. So if you live somewhere warm, or you keep your home heated, your dog is breathing in more of this than a dog in a cooler environment. This isn't theoretical chemistry, it's measurable. It showed up in the actual blood and tissue of real dogs, and it was correlated directly with the materials inside their homes. Here's the part that should stop every dog owner cold. The Duke research added household chemical exposure to the growing list of suspected contributors to bladder cancer in dogs. Bladder cancer, specifically transitional cell carcinoma, has been rising in domestic dogs, and certain breeds are already at elevated risk. Scottish Terriers have 18 times the rate of bladder cancer compared to mixed breed dogs. Shetland sheepdogs, beagles, also higher risk. For those breeds, chronic chemical exposure may be compounding a genetic vulnerability that was already working against them. So the question you need to be asking isn't, did my dog eat something toxic? It's, what is my dog being slowly exposed to every single day in a home I think of as safe? Those are two completely different questions, and only one of them protects your dog. The dogs in the Duke study had never ingested cleaning products directly, but they were carrying the chemical fingerprint of their home environment inside their bodies. That realization changes how every dog owner should think about the word clean. Let's talk symptoms, because knowing the difference between early warning signs and an emergency is something that could literally save your dog's life. Mild signs of chemical exposure include excessive drooling, pawing at the mouth, watery eyes, sneezing or coughing after a cleaning session, and a slight change in energy or appetite. These are easy to dismiss. Don't. Pawing at the mouth, in particular, is one of the most commonly missed early distress signals. Most owners think it's a behavioral quirk. It's often oral irritation from chemical contact. Moderate signs that warrant a vet call within hours. Repeated vomiting or diarrhea. Visible redness or chemical burns around the mouth, nose, or paws. Unsteady gait or disorientation. And persistent coughing or labored breathing. If your dog is showing any of these, don't wait and see. Call your vet. And then there are the emergency level signs: seizures, collapse, loss of consciousness, bloody vomiting or diarrhea, severe respiratory distress, chemical burns visible in the mouth or on the skin. Any of these means drop everything and go to an emergency vet right now. Critical point: if your dog ingested something corrosive, drain cleaner, oven cleaner, concentrated bleach, do not induce vomiting. Do not. The caustic substance causes additional burns to the esophagus and mouth on the way back up. You'll make the damage worse. The correct step is immediate veterinary contact. Save this number right now. The ASPCA Animal Poison Control Center. It's 888-426-4435. They operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Program that into your phone before this video ends. It's one of the most important things you can do for your dog today. Now let's map the risk by room, because not every part of your home carries the same danger level. The bathroom is the highest acute risk zone. Toilet bowl cleaners, bleach-based scrubs, and mold sprays concentrate in a small, poorly ventilated space. Toilet cleaning tablets can raise the chlorine concentration in toilet water high enough to cause corrosive damage from a single drinking event. Keep that bathroom door closed. It's not overcautious. It's the single easiest protective measure in your entire home. And it takes exactly 0 extra effort once it becomes habit. The kitchen is the most chronic exposure zone. Floor cleaners and counter sprays are used frequently. Residue settles on tile and grout your dog walks across daily. Oven cleaners sit under or near surfaces your dog explores. And scented dishwashing products add to the fragrance phthalate load every single time you use them. The living room and carpeted areas are the chronic off-gassing zone. Carpet deodorizing powders leave particulate residue in carpet fibers that dogs inhale and ingest through nose-to-floor contact for days after application. Most owners have no idea. Now let's close with what you can actually do. Because this doesn't end with fear, it ends with a smarter, safer home. True pet-safe cleaning starts with ingredient transparency. If a company won't publicly list exactly what's in their formula, that's your first red flag. Look for enzyme-based cleaners with fully disclosed ingredients. Plain white vinegar diluted in water works for many surfaces and is genuinely non-toxic to dogs. Baking soda handles odors and light cleaning safely. Unscented, fragrance-free dish soap with a simple surfactant base is far safer than most spray cleaners for everyday surfaces. Protocol matters just as much as ingredients. And this is where most guidance completely fails dog owners. Surface drying time is not the same as chemical neutralization time. A floor can look and smell dry and still carry chemically active residue. Keep your dog off cleaned floors for at least 30 minutes after visible drying, longer for carpet. Ventilate during and after every cleaning session, especially with spray products. Open windows, run a fan. That small step dramatically reduces the chemical burden your dog is breathing in right alongside you. One more protocol step that almost no cleaning guide mentions. Rinse mopped floors with plain water after using any chemical cleaner. That's it. One extra pass with clean water dramatically reduces the residue your dog's paws pick up with every step. And never mix cleaning products. Bleach plus ammonia produces chloramine gas, severely toxic to both dogs and humans. This isn't a rare accident. It's something that happens when people grab whatever's under the sink and combine them without thinking. One of those mistakes can harm your dog in minutes. The goal isn't a perfectly chemical-free home. That's not realistic, and that's not what we're asking for. The goal is a meaningfully safer one. You now know which products carry the highest risk. You know why your dog's biology makes them so much more vulnerable than you. You know the chronic exposure pathway that most dog owners never even consider. And you know the specific steps that actually reduce that exposure. That's not a small thing. That's the difference between a dog owner who worries and a dog owner who acts. At Griffin's Pack, we put out videos like this every week. The science your dog needs you to know, explained in plain language. If you don't want to miss what's coming next, subscribing takes 2 seconds, and it genuinely matters for your dog. Here's your action step for right now, before you do anything else. Go to your cleaning cabinet. Pull out anything that has fragrance in the ingredient list, or pine oil, or phenol. Set those aside. Then, save the ASPCA Animal Poison Control number in your phone. 888-426-4435. Those 2 things take less than 5 minutes, and they start protecting your dog today. Not someday, today. I want to know your experience. Have you ever noticed your dog acting strangely after you cleaned your home? Pawing at their mouth, more lethargic than usual, sneezing after you sprayed something? Leave a comment below. And if this video opened your eyes to something you didn't know, Griffin's Pack is where we cover exactly this kind of thing. The stuff about your dog's health that nobody else is telling you. We'll see you in the next one.